Hey everybody, welcome back to Deerell Valley. So, today we are back in the harbor, and as you can see, we have our good old little blue DM3 that we were driving last episode, as well as these three tank cars. Now, as you can see, we are not in the same location. Well, technically we are. We are still here in the harbor. We are just about to leave the harbor. And that's because, off camera, I made some money and I then spent it all because I bought us a brand new license, the Logistical Haul license. So I got that set up. It cost me $100,000. It is the second cheapest license behind the DE2 and the 060 licenses, which are $75,000. But there's no point in buying that since we already have the DM3 engine. So I bought the Logistics Haul for $100,000. The Logistic Haul jobs are jobs where you haul empty freight cars, such as these three tankers, to the locations in which they originally came from. So these three cars are heading back to the oil well north. The job, obviously, as you can see, pays $15,000, so they're consistently a bit more money than the shunting jobs, which were more around $5,000 to $10,000. So, the reason why I did a lot of shunting work off camera is because I thought it would be boring to watch me play for like an hour and a half of just shunting jobs. I thought that would get boring eventually. To be in like the same yard just shunting cars back and forth. But today, we are going to be heading out of the yard, so you'll be seeing me run the DM3 over the road. I already got, as you can see, the consist is ready. We are at the base of the hill out of the harbor. So, let's hop in. We got our DM3, which I stalled it on accident. And now we're time to head up the hill with this short little consist. After this, we are probably going to want to get the next license, which would be the long haul license, the train length one. Because train length one jobs can easily double our monetary output. But, since we are leaving the yard, we're going to get to interact with a couple new things. Number one, some of these dials which we didn't really have to deal with before, such as oil temp, tachometer, and the sand and fuel levels are going to be very, very much things we're going to have to pay attention to. The fuel is definitely one because, because while being in a shunting yard, while driving around the yard, you're not going to be using that much fuel, and you're always close to a place where you can service your engine, so you don't ever run out of fuel. Driving over the road, though, you have to consistently service your engine, because if you don't, you will run out of fuel. I've done that on several occasions in the past when I first started playing this game, where I would just end up running out of fuel, simply due to the fact that I forgot to service the engine, and, well, get stuck on a hill without fuel, you're gonna be in for a bad time. For now, we'll just drive her out of here. So, this job is heading up to the oil well north, which, on our map, you can see is up here over in the northeast. We're down here in the southeast at the harbor, so we're going to head up this route, head this way into the steel mill, which is where we did our initial shunting jobs, and then head up to the oil well north. Overall, it is a pretty straight journey. After we go here at the oil well north, we'll either find another logistical haul or a shunting job we can do, or if there's nothing here good, we can run over here to the goods factory since it's just a short distance away. See if there's any good jobs there. Just depends on what we end up finding. And since it's no longer raining, I can turn those off because I no longer need them. Now, the one thing about the DM3 is that it is not the fastest vehicle, so this will be a bit of a slow run up the hill. But, I mean, it is just such a fun little engine to drive. Let's turn it down so we can let off on the oil temps. Oh, let me try to get a good... Let me see if I can't get a good thumbnail shot, because, I mean, Why wouldn't we want to get to the middle shot? That should hopefully work. We're going about 55. Yeah, I heard that grinding the rails. That was basically saying, hey, you're going a little too fast for that turn. Yeah, that's more like a 40 than it is a 50. But that's a sign for a 7, so full throttle. Yeah. Okay, so since we have just been shunting slowly around a yard, we're going to be interacting with some new stuff, such as, 1, much higher speeds. Before we were hanging mostly around the 30, we weren't really going past 30 kilometers an hour. Now we're doubling that up to 60. Another thing that we're going to have to deal with is speed limits, because not every spot on the rails can do 60 kilometers an hour. Like that we just passed, back there, was more of a 40, which is what it's rated for. Like, this is a 7. We can go around this at 70 kilometers an hour. So, we're safe here. That was a 5, and we're going, like, 60. Right now, we're doing fine. We're going, that's a 6. We're doing just about 60, so we should be fine here. At the top of this hill, though, there is another 4. I think it's that turn right there. Yep, you can see the sign right there. That says a 4. So we're just going to let off the throttle. And then we're going to apply the independent brake. And just hope that's enough to slow... That plus the grade is enough to slow the engine down. I've gone off this turn in previous saves. Going too fast around it, so this is definitely not a turn you want to be taking way too quickly. No, I don't know. We don't want to be going straight. We want to go left here. Because if you remember back to the map, we're trying to go here. This would just be a bypass of the oil on north. This is the line you're taking if you're trying to get to the iron mine. Or the goods factory from the harbor. So we're going to try to get to the oil well, so we have to take this line up to the oil well. We have to take this middle line. But over-the-road hauling is not the most exciting job in the world. Well, this isn't the most exciting job in the world, mainly because of the fact that these are empty cars, and it's also not a heavy job, meaning we don't have to work this engine that very hard. If we go back to the job, we can see it's only 57 tons, and this engine is rated for 500 on a 2% or 2,000 on flat. So, like, we could be hauling heavy cargo with this. You can actually see this engine's not the best at driving. But this engine here isn't the best engine in the world, like, in terms of ease of use. But it is one of the kind of just more unique engines, because it involves a shifter, it involves shifting the engine, and it also has some of the best adhesion in the entire game. As you can see, adhesion control is the highest rated item on this list. That plus shunt acceleration, and then obviously the maintenance is really high on this engine. But then, of course, you have things like the simplicity is horrible. Very, very bad for new players trying to play this. Of course, the best locomotive in the game, obviously being the DE6, specifically for hauling. Because, yeah, I mean, look at that. This is literally the best engine in the game for hauling, with the 060 being the second. But then, of course, it is the hardest vehicle to learn. As you can see, simply because it is, you know, a steam engine. Steam engines are very, very hard. And oh, why are you mad? Tachometer, why are you mad? Do you want me to back off a little bit? Is that what you want? Look how beautiful this is, though. This game is just so beautiful. Old Future did an amazing job with this game. It's just such a beautiful game. But yeah, but going back to the vehicle catalog, just looking at stuff. Obviously, Tender. The Tender for it doesn't do much. The DH4, this is probably the best overall engine in the game. As you can see, because it has some of the highest. It's high in every single category. The reason for this is it's literally one of the easiest engines to use, and it can do pretty much any single job. If you're holding multiple jobs at once, you're gonna obviously need multiple of these engines, but then again, multiple unit does exist, and if you can find multiple DH4s, you're pretty much able to deal with anything. DM3, one of the better shunting engines, just because of how much tonnage it can haul. 060, funnest shunting engine because it is a steam engine. So, and then of course the DE2, which again is arguably the best shunting engine, because you don't really need that much tonnage when you're shunting because everything's mostly flat anyways. Combined with ease of use. And then, of course, there are some extra stuff in the game, such as the BE2, which is literally a micro shunter. Weakest engine in the game. Slowest engine in the game. Literally designed to only shunt. There's no reason to use this thing other than for shunting. And even then, I'd rather have the DE2 than the micro shunter, than the BE2. You have little fast, a little spicy. You have the DE6 slug, which the slug allows you to attach to the DE6 and the DE2s to get better range out of it. You get better hauling ability because you get extra load rating, you get extra adhesion, you get extra hill climbing and stuff such as that. So just allows you to basically have a stronger version of the DE2 or a stronger version of the why are you mad? A stronger version of the DE2 or the DE6. You have a handcar, which is, you know, just a handcar. You have the caboose, which doesn't do anything. It's just a way to store items as well as repair shit. And it does help with braking because it is its own car with brake, and it's incredibly light, so all that is just to help with braking. Ooh, wrong book. And then you have the rail car, the diesel rail car, which is a special car that we will talk about later once we eventually unlock it. We have over-revved this engine so high because we're going so quick. Which is, I mean, understandable. We are going 80-something kilometers an hour because we're on a hill. Do I let this off and throw it in neutral? I can't throw it in neutral? Aww, I was hoping I could just, like, pop it in neutral and then just, like, let it just roll. We are going very fast, though. And we are only going to be going even faster because there's another hill coming up. I could honestly probably turn the engine off and then just let it roll to save fuel. Because we're about to go down another hill. Yep. Let's see if I just... She's not turning off. Is it because we're rolling? Are we like... Are we turning the engine? Is the engine just not able to turn off because it's rolling? That's hilarious. I just can't turn the engine off. Ah, that's funny. It's really mad at me. So yeah, you can basically pretty much do a 60 to 70 in this engine. It's like the max speed of this thing. Which, I mean, to be fair, if you can do a constant 40, anything over 40 kilometers an hour, basically means you're going to hit every single time bonus on a single job. So, it's not really that big of a deal. Drop these off in the B2S. Alright. And that will be job completed. Did I turn her off? I might have actually turned her off. I just couldn't hear it. Did we break the engine? Oh shit, we might have broke the engine. Running the engine that quickly might have broken it. Oh shit. Well, I mean, it's 50 tons. We should be able to haul 50 tons. Hopefully that doesn't affect us. Hopefully this doesn't significantly hinder our ability to drive, because there is a... Because we aren't quite there yet. We are still en route. We're about here-ish. Somewhere in this area right here. Thankfully, the oil well north is right there, so we're not that far off. It just might be a problem of getting there in the first place. I wonder if I lower the gear by one. Which one's 7th? 7th is... Nope. Okay, we're going way too fast for 7th gear, apparently. Okay, well then we'll just leave it in 8, and then just roll. I guess we just must have hurt the gearbox. Hurt the 8th gear. Because of how fast we were going. Especially she's not stalling. We don't even have any bad oil temp. The oil temp is incredibly cool. So yeah, it's just literally... Like, look how much fuel we've used. We've used almost a quarter of the tank already. But yeah, this is a lot funner, probably a lot more entertaining to see, you know, the train drive across this beautiful landscape versus me shunting cars around a yard. And this isn't even the funnest this game gets, because we're in a slower vehicle driving one of the simpler lines. When you're going up either this grade up here in the mountain, getting out of the coal mine, or up the grade out of the iron mine, trying to get up into the machine factory, because this is a huge grade right here. This is a very long grade. There's a really steep grade right here as you're exiting, trying to come into the machine factory or leaving right before the iron mine west. This is always a fun one to do. If you're coming from the iron mine trying to get to the steel mill, can either go the long way around, or you can try to take the shorter path, and which is this way. That's always a fun line to try to do. Especially if you have a steam engine. Oof. That's some fun tonnage hauling. Alright, we're almost there. We're almost there. We are right here right now. The iron mine is just up at the next right. Which means that we can then service this engine, figure out what is wrong with the 8th gear of it, because something clearly isn't right. I'm really surprised she hasn't stalled yet. Yeah. Man, I'm a little tired. It's not even that late for me right now. It's just bad sleep, I guess. The line's already set to head straight, so we'll just drive right into the oil well. Where are we going again? The B... Where's this? The B2S. Alright, we'll let her coast for now, so we can try to figure out where exactly the B2S is at. Hopefully there's no cars in it, so that way we don't have to, so we can run around easily. And hopefully it's not that yard over there. And there are cars in it. We're gonna have to run... Yep, that is the B yard. There are cars in it. We're gonna have to run all the way around then, in that case. So that way we can shunt these 3 cars into the back and keep our engine on the front. There. And then there is a buffer at the end, so we are gonna want to not run into that. Did she stall? I think she stalled. Okay, well in that case, that might be a problem. Mine doesn't. Oh yeah, she's definitely stalled. Gotta go the other direction. Yeah, we must have hurt the gearbox. Damn. Yeah, we really hurt the thing. We really hurt this poor guy. We must have really hurt the transmission. Ugh. Yep, the poor girl stalled. Alright, well, we got the cars. Oh, gotta tie down a handbrake. You always gotta tie down a handbrake after every job. And that's just a game requirement. You literally have to do it. It's also a legal requirement in real life. That's where it obviously comes from. Is that you have to tie a handbrake to keep the cars from rolling away. But look at that, 34 minutes. We got a $22,000 for the job. Nice. We have 10K up to the machine factory, so from here to there. That's not really a fun job to take. That wouldn't be really that fun of a job, mainly because it's so long and it does not pay any money. This we can't do because it's a long one, even though we pay $30,000. Because long one's a $200,000 license, I believe. And you do have to pay a fee. You have to pay a fee. What? Damn, we really hurt the $60,000 worth of damage to the locomotive. What the hell? Okay. Yeah, we'll pay off the fees though. So yeah, we're gonna need to go to the goods factory. We have $24,000. We could drive there, but I'm lazy and I don't want to. So I'm just going to TP with the engine. This is the same engine we've used the entire time, too. I have not gotten a different DM3. It's $1,200 to over there, which is not bad at all, considering the fact that we're taking the engine with us. Alright, let's see if we can't either find a good... I'm running past the station. If we can find either a really good logistics, $24,000 to the machine factory. That's what I'm talking about. $55,000. Oof, that's unfortunate. It's a long two, so we can't do it. That would make so much. That's so much money. And then there's a long haul one, which is again unfortunate that we can't do. Well, might as well take these 4 cars. That's quite a bit of money, and it's down to the machine factory, which means we get to run a new line. We haven't seen any of this line yet in this series, so we can take you, and then it's probably grabbing none of these. Those look like passenger cars, or cars for, not passenger cars, cars for cars, auto rack cars. So it's probably over in that yard somewhere. So we got to do that logistics haul, and then from there we'll buy another license. So now the question is, do we buy train length 1 for 200k or freight haul for 200k? That's the question, because freight hauls don't always make more money, as you can see. Same amount of cars. This one's a freight haul, this one's a logistics haul. This makes over twice the amount that this makes. Same with this one. Same with this one. All 3 of these freight haul jobs make less money than that. So do we go for the long one haul so we can do stuff like this? And even that doesn't make as much money than this does. Then again, it is a much shorter route. Getting to the food factory from the goods factory is shorter than going to the machine factory. Like, it's less than half the distance. Which again is why this makes so much more. But even that, like going down to the harbor, isn't that much farther. And yet we are doing jobs that are half the monetary value. But yeah, we probably want to do this job. So we're going to throw that into the booklet, or throw that into the validator, get the booklet. All of these cars are in the B3S, okay? This is the B2S. Which means this is the B3S. Which, wait. Are these it? What is this order? 56. Oh, it is these ones. Okay. So these are the cars we're taking. Which means we need to shunt these guys out of the way so we can get access to those. What are these? Oh, that's the shunting job for the probably the wood. We have 2 options. We can either shunt these cars or we can haul them. You know what? Let's do a funny. Let's do something a little bit funny. That's off. That's off. Let's have some fun with this, and let's shunt the cars to their destination. We'll get behind. We won't move those freight cars out of the way. We'll just simply plug into these and then just push the cars down the main line, which is kind of funny. I mean, you can hear how much better the engine sounds, though. Now that we repaired it. Note to self, don't get this going at like 80 kilometers. Don't get this guy going over like 80 kilometers, because you can break her. Did I just stall it because I changed gears? I just stalled it because I changed direction. That's incredibly funny. Come on. Grab the thing. Grab the pose. Come around to, yes, brake. Alright. Air's tied in. Reverse. We'll put her into fourth just so we have speed. And drive. Because, I mean, they're empty, so it's not like we need the tonnage. It's not like we need the, torque from lower gears. Is she fast? I think she is. Alright, time to push these cars to the machine factory. Which is way over here on the other side of the map. So we're going to take that same long run we did through the steel mill, but instead we're going to take that right and head through the farm, Oil Well Central, and just outside City West. And then head up to the machine factory. What do we have? Oh, tachometer. Shit, I forgot to... Okay, we haven't hurt the engine yet. Okay, now this is again something we want to remember. One, this cannot be moved, this cannot be moved while in motion, which is kind of upsetting because I would love to be able to put it in neutral. And two, do not let this thing get going at like 90 because 90 breaks this thing in 8th gear. Because we do not want to break the gearbox again. We definitely don't want to break the gearbox again because this is a great right here. This line from City West starting about roughly there until you get to Machine Factory is a consistent 1% uphill, which is not a fun line if you have, which would not be fun if we were to have a broken gearbox, a broken transmission. Another thing that we're also going to have a problem with though is visibility, because we're at the back of the train is going to be trying to hit the radio or hit the switch stands from back here, so I might have to jump out and manually and run along the cars to do that. But hey, at least these cars are easy to run along. Running decently fast now that I think about it. There's that engine way back there. I can't see that. Okay, it's lying the correct way. Get back, get back, get back, get back. Get back to the engine, get back to the engine. Okay, we're good. We're not going too fast. Okay, now that we're on flat ground, though, we can slam her into or slam her all the way into the final notch. Full speed, full throttle, and then just run along this line. No. Also, just as a note, if you want to get this game, I'm pretty sure it is on sale right now on Steam. So if this game interests you and you want to buy it, feel free to check it out. It is on Steam for about 25% off, I think, right now. Great game, lovely game. But yeah, normally it's about $40, I believe. Yeah, it's normally a $40 game. So right now it's about $30, since it's about a quarter off. And this game is going to be continuously updated for the foreseeable future for a good couple years. We should be getting a large update within the next year and a half, like a full, like, damn near overhaul update. Sometime next year, hopefully. It's currently unconfirmed by Old Future. Old Future does not have a confirmed release date, for obvious reasons. It's over a year out. Plus, they said they were going to take their time to make sure this update is amazing as best as they could. So, please support Alt Future. Alt Future, they've done amazing work with this game. They've been developing this game for, 7 years now at this point. It's been a long 6-7 years, something like that. The game's been out since like 2019-ish, I think. And yeah, this game is just amazing. Just an amazing, lovely, beautiful game. Well, amazingly made by people who genuinely care about trains and getting them right, and obviously who just love the idea of driving a train down the main line. And for all of you Americans, if you're unaware, this game takes place not in America, but more in the Balkan type style region of the world in terms of the train style, like what kind of trains we're running. These are not American locomotives. These are very much European locomotives. There will be a USA DLC at some point in the future. I believe Old Future currently has it set as like a 2020, something for like 2028, which is obviously 2 years, something, I think, at least. So a couple of years down the road, way out in the future, if they were to do it. Hopefully they will. But yeah, for those of you who like American trains or whatever, they will eventually have that in this game as well. It will be a lot of fun. What's going on? Let off. Shut down. But yeah, for the moment, for the foreseeable future, it'll be primarily European style engines. Although with the next update, I have no clue what the next update is going to entail. This is just their foundation. This is their final foundational update, I believe, is what they call it, Foundation Part 4. They've already released the first 3 Foundation updates. And that being the original release of the game, overhauled, and the original release of the game, I believe what they've once called Overhauled, Simulator, and I believe there was another version of the game. I forget what that one was called. But yeah, they've had 3 foundational updates so far, and they're planning on the 4th one, which is the next large update, which is going to be the final, which is going to be, I think, where the game is no longer considered early access, is after the final foundational update. Which means that's going to be the game is in its full release. Because technically this game isn't its full release. If you've noticed, it was easy to notice at the Goods Factory, we ran through a passenger station. But obviously there are no passengers. It's only freight hulls. And that is a thing that they are planning on in the future, is to have passengers, is to have a full passenger system. They're also planning on having AI trains. So there will be other trains, I guess, running around the map with you. Also, we need to hit that. God, we are going way too fast. Surprised we didn't derail there. That was way too fast. That was scary. Yeah, you sly dog. You caught me monologuing. um, ADHD. Anyways, where was I? Oh, yes. Featured, alt-featured shit. But yeah, so they're planning on adding passengers eventually. They do have a roadmap on their Steam page linked. So that should be a lot of... There's a lot of stuff that they have planned. USA DLC, passengers, their foundational updates, and a bunch more other stuff that they're planning on for the future of this game. I think they have clear out to like 2030 or something. They have updates planned, which is just amazing. Amazing work done by this dev team. Sent to the farm. We just entered the farm, which is this area right here. Next we need to enter, next we're going to be entering the oil well, and then down here at City West, and then heading up to the machine factory. Going to get back on the gas. Gas. Got to step on. Okay. Yep. This game's got a lot planned for the future. I can't wait to see what all future has planned for this game. I would say the biggest thing I would want though, right now, is just a few more. It's just another steam engine, honestly, I think is what I want right now. We have 4 diesels in the game, and we have 2 steam engines, a 280, or a 282, sorry, a 282 and a 060. I would love it if they added a 460 or a 462. Something fast, a steam engine designed to be fast. Because right now, all of the steam engines in the game are designed for the heavy freight hauling. Obviously, a 282, an 060, they're designed for freight. 060s are designed for heavy shunting. S282 is designed for heavy road hauling. We don't have anything specifically designed for fast freight hauling, with the exception of the DE6. But that's just, the pinnacle of, diesel tech. It literally can do anything you ask of it. It can be fast, it can be heavy hauling, but it doesn't matter. I would love to see a steam engine designed specifically for speed in this game. That's at least what I want the most out of, what I really want them to add. That's what I want them to add next. I'm going to slow the engine down because I know there's a sharp turn coming up. I'll leave it with 1 notch just to keep her rolling. Yep, you can see that's a 3 for 30 kilometers. Make sure she's still doing 30 kilometers. Might need to go 1 notch higher. Another notch? Okay, yeah. 3 notches. wrong button. Okay, here we go. We're going around this turn right now. And then that turn here at... Oh, I'm tired. City West is another 3. But from there, it's just full send it up that. Which will be fun to see what happens. Fun, specifically with the tachometer. I don't think I've ever pushed cars this far though. I really don't think I've ever done a pushed freight cars this far down the main line. Mainly because it's obviously not the easiest thing in the world to do. Even only 4 cars is still a bit tricky, just because of how much foliage there is. We are accelerating quite a bit, so I'm going to let her off. And I just hope we coast down to 30 before the next turn, because up here is the next turn. I really do wish this wasn't like this. I wish there was like a bypass from here to here, so that way we could have a much wider turn and not have to deal with this disgusting turn right here. Like, what is that? Oh, that's why. I was so confused. Oh shit, we're going fast. We're going a little fast for this. Ugh. Little bit. Yeah, like, see, this is such a disgusting turn. Like, why can't we have a wider turn way out there somewhere? It would be so much nicer if we didn't have to... Ah, shit, get in the engine. If we didn't have to deal with that. Alright. Let's get some speed! Alright, where are we even taking this load? To the B1S. That is that yard, I believe, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to remember my machine factory. Well, we can always check using the station map. Machine factory, yes. The B yard is, yes, the one all the way to the right. And the B2S is the first line to the... Wait, what are we going to? The B1S? B1S, yep. Okay, so the line second to the right. Yep, the second line to the left. Okay. So, all the way to the right, and then all the way to the left. We are about to hit our max tachometer at 60 kilometers an hour, going uphill. I do believe the grade has started. So we are going to want to watch the tachometer to obviously not burn our, explode our transmission again. This is why this thing is not rated for running on the road. Or at best hauling short trains. Or at best hauling short trains to short distances. Like, if you were to run a load with this engine, honestly, the best kind of load to run would probably be from here to the sawmill, because this is a bit of grade climbs right here. Got some crazy grades going on in here. Or running from, like, here to here, or here to there. Like, it's doing the short, close jobs. Harbor to City South is the kind of, like, road jobs this thing would be doing, if it were to do a road job, which, in most cases, it wouldn't, unless you really needed an engine. Unless this is the only engine you have access to and you need to get the job done, yeah, you could run that short haul job. But this is, like, in real life, you would never use this engine to run from down here at the harbor up to the oil well north, or from the goods factory to the machine factory. Like, you would never do this in real life. Simply because it makes no sense. simply, that's like purely the only reason. It's just, it does not make sense. You would want to use a larger, more fuel, stronger engine, even with a light job like this. Even then, honestly, if you're doing a job in real life, this would not be the kind of job you would do. In real life, you'd be doing multiple of these logistics jobs. You would probably be doing like multiple logistics jobs to the machine factory, with combined with logistics jobs to be dropped off at the steel mill, at the oil well, the farm, and to the west. Like, you would drop cars all along your way as you made your way to the machine factory. That's how it would be done in real life, because this would save companies money, obviously. You have one crew with one engine do several different jobs. That obviously saves money. That's clearly the idea. You would save money. Why would I want to pay 4 crews and do maintenance on 4 different engines when one large engine can do it? Makes no sense. Obviously. Makes no sense in the long run. Makes no sense financially. But for Dero Valley, because it's a simulator that is designed for, that is obviously not multiplayer. Right, like this map, in real life, this is a really small map. Like, if you were to put this in the real world, this is a really, really small map. Like, when you think about it, like, it's taken me, what? It took me 30 minutes to drive from the harbor up to Oilwell North, and I was traveling at a consistent, probably an average of 60 kilometers that entire run. Like, that means that job is roughly a 30-kilometer drive for... Oh, shit. Shit, we passed the switch. Damn it, I gotta roll back. Why am I using that? Use this. I passed the switch. Damn it, we were supposed to go right. You sly dog! You caught me monologuing! Damn it. You're right, like, that means this was only, like, this journey from here to here, mathematically speaking, was, like, 15 kilometers. Or, no, did I say... No, sorry, 30 kilometers, which is, like, 15 miles. Wrong button. Which is not a long drive at all. 15 miles, that's not a crazy distance. That's a very short distance. When in real life, industries would be 100 miles apart. Like, these kind of industries would be much, much further in real life, at least. They'd be much further apart. But then again, that's just the whole part of what Dero Valley decided to gamify, because there's got to be a point in where the game feels less like a game and more like a job, and that's what they're trying to avoid. What can we reasonably have realistic that's still fun? And so basically the world is about a third-ish of the game world is about a third of real world size. Because that's just more fun that way. It allows you to still do long haul jobs, because you can get you can consistently get jobs from the harbor to Iron Mine East and Iron Mine West, or Machine Factory or Food Factory, and vice versa. But, which are very much the longest jobs on the map. They obviously go to opposite sides of the map. The longest jobs you can do. But it's not so long to the point where it takes you several hours just to do one job. A job, if you run fast, we are burning oil right now. That's not good. If you're running long jobs, like this job from the harbor to the Iron Mine West, you can complete that within an hour if you have a fast train. if you run quickly, you can easily do that in an hour. Within an hour. Okay, we got cars. That's fun. In real life, they would never do this. Well, they would never do what I'm doing in real life, but I'm doing it because it makes life easy. I don't want to gently bump it into those cars. Ah, shit, I'm stuck in the car. Yeah, we probably just made contact. Just need to get inside the B1S. Just make sure we're not overcutting. Tie handbrake down. Those guys have also stopped moving. Now run to the station, which is over here. Spam click, spam click, spam click. Alright. Alright, 28 minutes. Like, exactly. That run took me 28 minutes. We drove from there to there in 28 minutes. Like, that's not realistic. That's definitely not a realistic distance. But they gamified it because it makes life a lot easy. Oh, that's a lot of money, but I would need 3 licenses. I would do freight, fragile, and long just to do it. But it would make so much money. And there's no shunting jobs we can do. But we do have a food factory job, which means we have to run from here to the food factory. Which means we'd probably want to go south out of here, or north out of here. And head up to the food factory. Because we can't do anything else. And I don't want to teleport. Because that's a waste of money. But right now we have $60,000. Damn. These $5,000 on worth of what, fuel and oil. Licenses, again, there's no cheap licenses. The cheapest being $200,000 at the moment, so technically 75,000. But we're not buying the engines. We'll buy the engines another day. I mean, if you wanted me to buy an engine, let me know if you want me to buy an engine. Like the DE2 or the DE6 or the SO60, and I'll see what we can do about that. But for next, we're either going to want to get train length 1 or freight hull. And I'm thinking train length 1 would probably be the better option to do. Because at least if we can do shunting jobs with train length 1, I mean, $42,000 from shunting is something I would gladly do if we had the option to. For now, I do want to check something because from what I've understood, I haven't looked at it yet, but from what I understood from when reading the mod description is that not only are our licenses more expensive, but stuff in the shop are more expensive. Which if you, again, for those of you who never played Deer Valley, there are shops around the place. And these shops are places where you can buy different items for your engines. There's a lot of items you can buy. You can buy an anti-wheel slip computer, which helps you to not wheel slip. You can buy paint cans, which these are for some other stuff, which we will talk about in the future. Once we get to it. You can buy lights, you can buy mounting slips, or mounting brackets. But what I'm curious about is shovels and oilers, because this is what we need to run the steam engine. But they're not that expensive. $750, $400. A lighter, which is down there for $350. Toolbox. We don't need a toolbox. We got distance trackers, so we can track distances, I guess. We have a folder. What do we do with the folder? I don't know. Soldering, like, you can literally attach shit to your train because using this stuff. Wireless MU controller. Ooh, not sure what this does. This was part of the new update. High-tech headlight left, high-tech taillight left, and then I assume there's a right version. Yep, right versions. Light bars, defect detector, not sure what you do. Got taillights, you have a battery charger. Oh, for your flashlights. 150k, that's wild. Proximity reader. A lot of cool stuff. Flashlight, might want to get one of those eventually. You know what's funny? Back in the day, in the old versions of this game, these did not exist. Like, items weren't on the shelves. There was just a wall, and they were like a picture. They're like a booklet, kind of like this, just on the wall. And you would take this, and you would scan it. And then they updated to put all the stuff on the shelf, which is actually kind of cool. But the way it works is that you just come over here, you scan the item you want. Doesn't matter. Let's just put some random shit in here. And then it tells you on this cash register how much you want, how much everything costed. And then you insert your wallet to pay. Obviously, I do not have $174,000. I have not even half that. Nowhere near that much money. And then you can cancel in case you misclicked. But yeah, that's how the shop works. There's many things you can buy in the shop. Amp limiter. I did not know that was a thing. There's a lot of stuff in here that I've never really checked out. This is fun. The locomotive remote control allows you to control the locomotive if you're not inside of it. Which makes shunting easy because you can stand outside of it and just see if you're shunting in the correct location. Right? You can see how close you are. Overheating protection. Ooh, nice. And then a lost garage key. The garage keys are where you can get some of the extra stuff, but that costs money, obviously. But yeah, that is fun. It also lets you do some other fun things with MUing. You can control multiple engines at one time. You can be sitting in one engine, controlling it manually, and then use the remote control to control a different engine in a different spot on the train. So you can have two engines effectively, quote-unquote, working together, but not connected or MU'd together, which is very fun. But I think we've been recording here for about an hour now. I think that's pretty good. I think that's enough. You guys see me complete 2 jobs, 2 of the new logistics hauls. We've made $60,000, much quicker than we did beforehand. In the previous 30-minute episode, we did not have this much money after only 2 jobs. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. This was fun, as always. I will see y'all next time for another episode of D-Roll Valley. Bye.